Hey there. It's a little early to be disappointed with me into this stream. Unless there's another reason. Why are you disappointed in me, Seebs? Is it because I'm late to stream today? If so, that's understandable. Cat, you're being very annoying. I have a cat on my chair again. Oh, what you doing? What you doing? But tell me, Seebs, why are you disappointed? Why are you disappointed, my friend? Oh, yeah, he dipped. Alright, I see how it is. Alright, well, I'm gonna wait a little bit longer. Hold on. Actually, I'll just DM some people. Hold on. Just sending out some little notifications to some people in case they want to join in. Now, hold on. Did this person subscribe on that day? It looks to be that over the weekend, I had 2 people follow. I had 2 people start following. So, my thanks to WearTag and JennyBean08 for following. Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it. Hey, how we doing there tonight, gentlemen? I'm doing rather well. Sorry for stream being a little late. I was still going on a walk and doing some other stuff. But so, the name of the game is kind of what you see in the title for this stream. We're doing more campaign prep. Oh, cat, what are you doing? My cat's rubbing on my microphone again. Don't want to make them deaf, Bartlesby. Alright, well, the name of the game is prepping. We're prepping for a new campaign. So, oh god, get that out of here, Gabriel. Oh god. Gabriel, you do know we have... Yeah, there we go. We got the real... Gabriel, you do realize that we have the real PogChamp on this. Like, on the channel. We have the original. It's a channel emote now. I put it like a while ago. Yeah, TT overrides. The BTT... Oh, that's annoying. That's annoying. If I ever become affiliate, I'm gonna make that one of my custom ones, and it's like PogChamp 1 or something. And I'm gonna differentiate so we can get the original one. So we still have PogU though, so that's fortunate. That's fortunate. But anyway, we have campaign tonight. Yeah, you have to get one leg PogChamp 1. Yeah, I'll look into doing that. I'll definitely make sure to do that. But the name of the game for tonight is campaign prep. Now, you may be asking, Thorin, wasn't there like already like another campaign that you were doing prep for, and now you're just not? You just haven't done any? Correct. The campaign that I was prepping for before was Journey to the Mountain King. Oh, cat, don't do that. And while that project isn't so much completely dead in the tracks, it's on hold. The reason for it being is that there are simply other things for which I have more interest to actually work on right now. Yeah, it's like, oh, but finish that one first. It's much easier to work on something if you actually want to work on it. And so, I kind of have to, I a little bit have to follow my gut here. And go with the new project. So the thing I actually have been talking about a little bit is if you've been on the Discord server, that something I've talked about a little bit, which if you haven't joined the Discord server already, I definitely suggest you do. But something I've talked about a little bit on the Discord server, don't rub on that needle, is how one could do like a Metro style campaign, in Dungeons and Dragons. And the first idea that I had was to use the Underdark, and I was like, and I definitely like that idea. But I was like, but part of the thing with Metro is that with which, like, I'm assuming. Okay, as a quick explanation to actually what Metro is, essentially, Metro, or as I'm referring to Metro, the books, or the Metro games, the setting of Metro takes place in, I'm just going to do it off the first book, so it takes place in 2033 in Moscow, Russia, in the Moscow Metro. And what has essentially happened is that Moscow itself got bombed to hell by like by nukes and shit. And so all the inhabitants of Moscow fled into the Metro, and that's where they live now, and they have ever since 2013. Now, I could do the Underdark, and then do a thing where it's like, oh, you guys are like, and where the party is a bunch of like kind of survivors trying to get to the surface, trying to get a better life for themselves and get to the surface. Because if you know anything about the Underdark is a shithole. It is a terrible place to live. There's like slave drivers and like big giant monsters that would gladly eat you as like an afternoon snack. But long story short, there's a lot of shit down there that'll kill you. Underdark is Brazil. Oh no. But so the reason why I didn't want to do Underdark setting is because with the Underdark, there's still a feeling of freedom. Like, you could still kind of like run away to a different part of the Underdark that's a bit nicer. Because not all of it's terrible, just most of it. But with the Metro, one of the things with Metro is that a part of the aspect of the books and the games is that feeling of claustrophobia, of where all tens of thousands of people are stuck underground in a metro, and there's no new land. There's nothing new for them to discover. It's just about survival. And I wanted to get that kind of that same feeling across, if only momentarily. Which you could argue, yeah, you could do that with a Underdark campaign. And while there's definitely a chance in the future where I'll do something like that, of where you are a bunch of ragtag survivors from like a war or something, or some sort of conflict in the Underdark, or you just hate the Underdark and want to get out of it, and it's your journey to the surface. That could be an entire thing. And that actually isn't that isn't a bad idea for a campaign in my eyes. But there was a more interesting idea that I thought of while along the way. Now, a way that I take notes, that I take notes for like campaigns, ideas, and characters, is I make voice memos, because my ADHD ass cannot stand to write. Oh dear God, I'm not very good at writing by hand. I can do it a little bit, and I actually did that for a little while, but then I started doing voice memos, and I would just kind of sit there and talk, because I find it rather easy to vocalize my thoughts. Most of the time, it's very easy to just vocalize what I'm thinking. And so usually that's what I'll do. So, where was I going with this? I actually don't remember. Fucking hell. Okay, actually, let me just switch over to desktop capture. Is Cam working tonight? Yeah, Cam's on tonight. We have the cat with us tonight. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. Grab the entire thing, please. Yep, webcam. And we're gonna put it down here. Put me in the corner. Blow me up to his size. Okay, so we got an empty Google Doc. So it's a right night, boys. We got a nice chill stream. A lot of the streams, especially during the week, have been like weird as shit. Apologies for that if that wasn't too enjoyable. Even after like a lot of the weird streams that happened over the week, even after that, I was like, yeah, okay, that wasn't great. I wasn't very happy with them, with how they turned out. But we're back to the old setup. Weird champ? Yeah, they were kind of weird champ. They were definitely kind of weird champ. Even looking at that, even like after the streams, I was like, that wasn't good. Like that was a bad stream. I want to go back to my usual content of where it's just me kind of sitting here talking, because I find that a lot more fun. I find it more enjoyable. Like I enjoy like boofing around with my friends. But like I feel like that is a detractor from the kind of stuff that I do. Which is like, I don't know. Why do you guys come and watch this stuff? Because I don't really know. I haven't really asked. Like why the people on the server, or even just you, Gabriel, why you come and watch my stuff? And you and me have talked about this a little bit, and it's like, oh, it's just like a good chemistry thing, where like you and me get along well together as like a fucking streamer and viewer, which I would definitely agree. We get along pretty well. And you're definitely like one of my main viewers. Yeah, we vibe. That's really what we do all streams. We just chill out and vibe. But I need to like figure out what my main attractor is as like a streamer. Because something I definitely do enjoy doing is D&D stuff. It's like the D&D streams. I really enjoy doing that. But for right now, I want to add more. I want to do like more variety stuff. At least for now. Because like I don't really have anything else I can do that much. And I want to like interact with you guys as much as I can. So I'm kind of want to find more stuff, which is alright. Originally for Tuesdays, I was like, I want to have Tuesdays be game day, where it's like I just play a game or something, where it's like Escape from Tarkov, or maybe I start playing the Stalker games, or actually I'm a little about playing the Stalker games, because with the game days, something I realized especially with Metro Exodus, is that I find it rather boring. Even from my perspective, it's a little boring. Of where, especially if you're like mid playthrough, if somebody comes in and they aren't really familiar with the game, then it's just not that interesting. And especially with like something with Metro, it's kind of just like, oh, I kind of just want to play this when I have the time. And so I kind of wanted to do either more casual stuff or more one-offy games. Like we could do like small indie games or something that you can beat in like an hour, like a couple hours. Like Journey, you can beat Journey I think in like 1 or 2 hours. Depending on how like completionist you go with it. And I feel like that would be a fun game to play, because like Journey is one of my favorite games and I'd love to play that with you guys. And then we could also do like other games, like more casual games. And I could play with people like, okay, so for the for the stream that happened, that was the Deep Rock Galactic stream last week on Thursday. That stream was a little It did fine. But something that I thought was undeniable is that even like when I was going back and watching the stream, there was something nice about having more than just me. Beetle, I need you not to do that. There was something really nice about having other people. That's part of the reasons why I actually like going back and watching some of my D&D streams. Those streams are like the D&D sessions, because it's nice just having more than one person. So one thing I'm thinking about is like, how can I get more people on stream besides just doing more D&D sessions? And like for what I have dubbed now Tuesday game day, where usually I'll probably just like pick up like small games, play through them entirely, and then that's what we'll do that night. maybe I could do like, I don't know, like Escape with Tarkov with some other friends of mine that are a little less, a little more, they're definitely still kind of rowdy, but something in more akin to the type of humor that I want to show on this channel. Because one of the things that wasn't great was the stream of me playing Minecraft with all those people, is that it didn't really mesh well. Like, it just the content didn't fit. It just wasn't the right content for this like Twitch channel. It just wasn't the right stuff. It was like the wrong ingredient or the wrong outcome. I didn't really make the right thing. Like, it wasn't really bad. Like, there were some bits that were pretty funny. Yeah, it just wasn't Thorin. And so what I want to find out is, like, how far can I go? What's like the borders of what is Thorin? And so how I've kind of described Thorin so far is just like chill. That's like, ever since the beginning, that's what I've gone for. It's chill, not like really manic like XQC. Like, as fun as manic XQC is, and like a lot of other streams like that, one thing's going into Twitch and like doing content creation is, my first thought was, everyone else is doing this. I want to be the chill streamer, or like the chill like creator, where it's, you can sit down and they're a little more palatable. If I were to compare to something, like XQC would be like black coffee. He's really just, he gets you wired, and like, and if you like him, you really like if you like that sort of content, you will really like what he does. But if you don't, then it's really jarring. I wanted to go for something a little more smooth, and something that is more relaxing, because I feel like that'd be fun to do. Nathan draining the Twitch swamp. I'm not draining the Twitch swamp. Oh no, trust me, I want to be a part of the swamp. I just want to be like the little, like the fucking big log in the swamp that just kind of floats there aimlessly, and then like has all the frogs on it. That's what I'm going for. And I feel like so far I haven't done that. Thorn is the swamp. I am the swamp. But something ever since the beginning, something I've wanted to go for is, oh shit, I just realized we have 3 people here. How you doing, everybody? Hope you're having a good night. Something I've wanted to do since the beginning is do like more chill stuff. And I feel like I haven't done that bad of a job with that so far. I feel like I haven't done that bad. To like, even that, and I feel like almost self-evident, because we had streams where I did it, and my reaction in my head was, it wasn't Thorin. That wasn't like my content. And so that tells me, okay, you've managed to get the idea across. Now we just kind of need to see where we can go with it. And so that's what I'm thinking about right now. But let's switch gears. D&D prep. All right. New campaign idea. So let's get cracking. I actually might end stream early because I probably should eat something. Alright, I'm probably just gonna see how far I can go with this until hunger just fucking takes me out. And I have to go and do something. And I have to go eat. Or maybe I'll go back to playing Metro or something. Hello, Beetle. I have a cat with me tonight. It's funny, in the earlier streams, I usually had this cat with me. This is Bartle. This is Barda. Or all of my cats have really dumb names. They all have stupid names. New idea, Among Us burger. I actually streamed Among Us once. It was a terrible stream. Because the reason why it was bad is because my mic audio was so fucking loud. My mic was way louder than anything else. Like, it was almost like Jay Schlatt funny mic levels of just like screaming. It was, if it wasn't so loud, I actually think it wouldn't have been that bad of a stream. But it was Germa smiling. I hate that I know I can see it in my mind's eye when you say that, Gabriel. I hate it. I can see it. The smiling Germa. Germa actually has to be like one of my favorite content creators when it comes to Twitch. He's really funny to watch. Although that's a bit of a misnomer. I don't actually watch his streams live. I don't. I just watch the highlights. Germa is like, to me, one of the fucking funniest people, like, on Twitch. He's fucking funny. And but in more so of a crafted way. Like, XQC is pretty funny. But there's a part of me that's like, oh, that's just XQC. Like, that's just his nature. That's who he is. Now with Germa it almost feels like a live comedy show. It feels like a live improv comedy show, and it's really funny. Although there was that video, because he's Pepega as fuck. Oh no, yeah, that's why he's funny, and he does it well. And it is true, yeah, he plays a character, which is like, yeah, it's true, he plays a character. But there's something so much more, I feel like more akin to the energy of like OG comedians with Germa. Germa's streams they're funny as hell, but it feels more like a comedy show. Like, it feels like you go there and you know what to expect. Like, you don't really know it fully to expect. But if you go to an XQC stream, what you expect is, oh, I should have done that. I'm sorry. like him banging on his table and getting really angry. But with Germa, you don't know what the fuck to expect. Okay, we're gonna get some funny jokes and shit. Oh, Beetle, I wish you wouldn't face that way. And good cat. Well, I like to call this cat Meatloaf, because she's just so fucking big. I have big hands. I can't even get it around half of her. This is like a quarter. She's so big. And she's like kind of young. Oh jeez. Anyway, okay. But let's actually like do shit. Let's do shit. Let's get shit done. And if I get bored, I'm probably just gonna go fucking play some game and play it terribly. I'm so bad at Escape from Tarkov. I have no idea where any of the exits are. I don't know what anything's worth. I suck at that game. I'm terrible. I'm so bad at that game. But it is like, the whole reason why I got the game is because of General Sam, I find to be really fucking funny, like YouTuber. He does really funny shit. Is Tasha's allowed in this character? Hey, Joe's Life, how you doing? Nice to see you around here. Is Tasha's allowed in this character? This isn't a character. This is a campaign prep. But yeah, I would, if this was a character, yeah, Tasha's would be allowed. Of course, Tasha's would be allowed. Is there like, wait, hold on. Wait, that implies that there's like a group of people that are not happy with Tasha's cauldron of everything. I remember one time I heard one of my friends say like, oh, it's like power creep. And I was like, what? No, it's like a balancing book. It's a balancing patch, essentially. It's just like a fixing patch, like where they like put up some new stuff for Ranger and other shit like that. And like, yeah, there are some pretty powerful abilities like that, but there are things like that in freaking every book. Oh, because of the race thing? I find that to be rather dumb. I don't really agree with it. I actually kind of like the new race thing. Although, hold on, let me actually look at the race thing. Okay, so the race changes were... Remind me, what actually are the race changes? I know there's like essentially just put your points wherever you want them to be, but what about like the other stuff? Like if it's just like change your stat? Oh yeah, that, I don't know why people are mad about that. The only people I feel like who are mad about that are kind of like people who, I don't know. Like I see why. Because certain races are thematically supposed to fit certain classes better. Like elves are supposed to be better rangers. Like fucking it messes with the lore. Yeah, it does. I see why people don't like it, but I feel like there's a lot more that's fun if we have it this way. I feel like there's so much more fun that can actually happen with the game, because I know one of the biggest things I find annoying for a character is making a character where their racial bonus stats don't align with the stats that the class needs to perform well. I find that really annoying. And a lot of the time, I'll sometimes just flat out ignore the stats and just go burp, burp. In my DMs. I always ask my DM, hey, can I just like put the racial stats where I want, because it's really annoying. And they're like, yeah, sure. Yeah, make it orc mage because of my rules. Yeah, and the thing is, it's not stopping anybody. Yeah, and it's like but the thing is, like, now if you want to do an orc mage, you can make it viable. But the thing is, there's like, that's just the stats, and the stats are only they have influence on the game for sure, but also you need to account for the actual racial abilities, because those don't change. The racial abilities stay the same as far as I know. So when it comes to the racial abilities, those aren't going to change. And I don't think aggressive is really going to help you that much as a wizard. And so they finally made rules for that, by the way. But before this book, you can do it. Now you can. Yeah. It was. Oh, the way it's put in, they said, they finally made rules for it. But the way they put it in, they said, like, before this book, you couldn't do it, and now you can. Oh, there it is. There's the problem. I don't really. Sorry if I'm so sniffy, by the way. I have a mute button, I just never fucking use it, because I'm an idiot. Hold on, is it actually attached to Numlock? Yeah, it is fully attached to Numlock. I'm gonna change that. Hold on, chat. Yeah. It is, like... Well, here's the thing, even with that, of where it's like, oh, you couldn't do it before, but now you can. Like, even in, like, I'm pretty sure, like, in the rules of fucking, like, D&D, I'm pretty sure, like, it almost just says directly at you, like, oh, like, the rules are, like, these aren't rules, these are guidelines. Like, you don't need to follow them. I'm pretty sure they say that in the book. Like, I'm paraphrasing here, obviously. But they already say it in the book, so why does it matter? I don't get it. Sources, hold on. Push to mute. Let's change that. Let's change that. I'm going to change that to numpad 4, but will it work without numlock actually being on? Nope, it's not going to. Hold on, I actually want to get this down so that I can actually have a hotkey. Because the thing is, here's the reason why I'm being bugged about this. Okay, my numlock is on. And if I hold down numpad 4, it'll mute. But it also does this. It makes 4s. It makes 4s. Because it made the new characters I'm playing more possible. Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I really like the new race changes, because it adds so much more flexibility while still allowing you to do like actually have a viable character. You might say, oh, that's metagaming. And it's like, there is still joy in playing them. You still want to make powerful characters. That's part of the fun of making D&D characters, or maybe just for me. Now, when it comes into metagaming, not metagaming, but power gaming, I think that'd be the better term. Power gaming is where you use that, like, you flaunt that in front of the other characters, like, oh, look at me, I'm so powerful. No, don't do that. Like, that's when I would say it becomes power gaming. But if you're making a character and you're like, oh, I want them to be powerful, you should just be doing that. And I'm not saying like, oh, every character you make should be powerful. No, you can make characters. If anything, there can be fun in characters. There is a good amount of fun you can find in a character that's just like that is bad. Like, they don't have good the stats don't align very well. They have not very good abilities. you could do that. And there's a lot of fun stories that can come from characters like that. But it's just, yeah. A changeling trickery domain, Echo Cleric Knight. Yeah, I remember you talking about that. Like, that's not a fucking meta build at all. It's not in the slightest. Like, oh yeah, just making crap tons of clones of yourself. Like, I remember us actually talking about this Joe's life. I remember thinking that's not a very good build. Like, it's a little weird. Like, it's like statistically not a very good build. But when it comes to RP potential, holy shit, that's like packed full of stuff. There's so much fun stuff you could do with that. Even from just like, oh, well, you're a cleric of the trickery domain. You're also an Echo Knight. How did those two things come around? Because they didn't just pop out of nowhere. And then it's like, oh, and then you're a changeling. Then there's so many like details in there that create for interesting shit. Combat in 5e. Yeah, I know. Combat in 5e. Omega lol. Combat in 5e is sad. It kind of fucking is. Oh god. Combat in 5e, it can be fun. But oh god, it's so reliant on the DM. It's so reliant. It's incredibly reliant on the DM, but then you also need smart players. Oh, it's so bad, dude. I wonder what the barbarian will do next. Yeah, exactly. Oh, what's the barbarian gonna do next? And like, that's the thing. Okay, this is where we get into where it relies on the DM to come up with good combat, and where you need to create like fun little things, like, oh, perhaps like little hazards in the area, or just like kind of like just garbage laying around that you could like pick up and throw or something. Yeah, the GM needs to be creative in every combat. Oh, yeah, so fucking bad, like for every combat. And then the answer for that is like, oh, we'll just have less combat. But then it's like, okay, well then what else the hell do we have? Yeah, it's like a 2-hour chess match for the DM. Yes. Yeah, that's true. That is how you did it, Toyota. Is you did like, you put in terrain shit, and then you had like big army battles. The army battles in those games were fun. For anyone that doesn't know, Toyota Warlord was my DM for a remade Curse of Strahd campaign, which was pretty good. And actually we finished, I think, like, I want to say the week before Christmas. I think. I don't actually know. The reason I say that is because last week I thought about it and I got nostalgic. And I was like, oh, I remember that campaign. That funny thing is, that was actually the first campaign I ever finished. I've never finished a campaign before that. That was the first thing I ever finished, and I was very happy that was the first one I ever finished, because it was a good one, for sure. But back on to D&D combat. So something that Toyota Warlord that we finished on the 11th of December. All right, thank you. So yeah, something that Toyota Warlord did is he put like in, he would do like terrain for combat, and also like big army battles, which for every campaign that's not really gonna work, the army battles. But for that one, for the Curse of Strahd one, it did, because we were like because we were able to like get a bunch of allies and then create a big army and then go like storm Strahd's castle. But a lot of D&D combat isn't like that. A lot of D&D combat is like smaller brawls. But it's like, how do you make that fun? Which, yeah, the juniors can't throw stuff in there, fight. It gets worse. Yeah, my the combat in D&D is incredibly repetitive. Also, a lot of the time, or at least in the ones that I fought, it wasn't a fight. It was just sort of, oh, let's see how powerful our characters are and let's kill the big bad guy. Like, even in the Anointed Souls campaign, the one that we stream every Saturday, when Bellinor Kane, my old character, who was like the psychopath wizard, who was a necromancer, when he got bursted down and knocked down, during that fight, it's like, ooh, where it's like there was a lot, like my character could have died. But if he did, I don't think it would have been because of the enemy is so dangerous, but because of my teammates just didn't get me up. And I'm not saying my teammates are bad, because I mean, they didn't really. I was sitting there, I was thinking, oh, well, you could get me up right here, and then I could do this, and then the fight would be over, we'd be done. But they didn't do that, which I'm glad they didn't, because then it'd be boring as fuck. But the phrase I'm going to use is collapsing cave encounter. Both sides are trying to kill each other, trying to escape first. I want to kill each other just by consequence. That is yeah. So there you go. There's another thing. Getting down does not equal die. Yeah. Oh yeah. The death system in D&D is so. He's action, evoke publicity, bonus action, echo clown, action. That almost sounds like when I played Paladin in the Curse of Strahd campaign. Because what everyone else would do, everyone would charge forward, and then I'd sit there with my sword and just start powering up. Because I was an ASMR, but I also had like a bunch of like buff abilities. Due to like class abilities and then spells and then also racial abilities. So I do like the ASMR protector wings, and then I do like the channel divinity, and then I do all this spend like 2 turns just buffing up, and then I'd get in combat and then just start fucking killing things, just boom, boom, just fucking blowing things out of the water. And it's like, oh my god. And that was actually something I really enjoyed about that character, was that he wasn't really strong for that long, but when he was, oh my god, he would just fucking cleave through things and just tear shit apart. That was one thing really fun about that character. Yeah, but that's a big thing. That if you want to make D&D combat fun, it needs to not just be combat. It needs to be combat plus environment. Let's take Toyota Warlord's collapsing cave encounter. If that was just if we got rid of the collapsing cave part and they were just in a cave, that'd be a really boring encounter. You go in, and like beyond the fun of just regular D&D combat, of which we trash talk it a lot, but there is a little fun to be had there. It's just that it gets repetitive after a while, and for an old timer, for a long-time D&D player, it can get pretty boring. Beyond like fun descriptions for how you kill enemies and stuff, or just like, oh, my character is cool, he does this, which there is fun to be had there, and trust me, I do that a lot. Yeah, combat drags on, and also it's a little boring. That's why you need to do environment, but then also, oh, hold on, my fucking nose is fucking with me. Give me a second. Oh yeah, narrative. That's another important thing. You need to have a reason to fight. You can't just be fighting for the sake of fighting. You have to have a reason. The difference between Goblin Cave Fight A and then Goblin Cave Fight B is that in Goblin Cave Fight A, you're killing the goblins for money, but in like Goblin Cave Fight B, you're fighting to save a kid or something. Like those are very actually no, that's not even really a great example, but it's fun to have something to fight for. There needs to be stakes besides just like gaining. Like, oh, we're not gonna get the money. There needs to be like a narrative purpose for it. Oh yeah. That was also another thing you did quite well, Toyota Warlord, is that in the original book for Curse of Strahd, Strahd is very cartoony. He's a very like cartoony, like twirling his mustache, like sitting in his high castle, just like, you'll never get me. Which, like, there is fun to be had with a villain like that, but not with Curse of Strahd. And something that Toyota did is that he made that guy, oh boy, when Strahd came down from his castle, the party would collectively shit themselves. Because we knew, oh god, something real bad's about to happen. Because the first time we met him, he like nearly cast like he nearly finished the casting for like 9th level Meteor Storm on us, and then immediately set us as, oh fuck, this guy's big and dangerous and we don't want to fuck with him. So every time he came down from the mount, we'd see his little carriage, we just went, oh fuck. That's something that was so much fun about that. And it set immediately. It set how much of like he's the bad guy, he's the big bad evil guy, or he's the villain of the story. And that's also another thing. Okay, so actually, hold on. Okay, we're completely derailing the stream, but I find this way more fun to talk about. At least for right now. Okay, so the things combat needs to be fun. Let's make a bulletin list. Okay. We're getting a little bit beyond. We're getting beyond combat, and we're getting into like story structure. And we're getting into like campaign and story structure. Let's keep it to combat. How could we fix combat? Okay, so first, environment. Environment's gonna be one of the big things. We'll write more about it later. I just want to get down the main bullet points right now. So environment, that's the first thing. A reason to fight, that's another one. You want to have a reason for why you're actually fighting, because if you're just fighting for the sake of combat, there can be fun in that, but it gets boring real quick. So, a reason to fight, that's another thing you need. What else do we need for this gory cake of combat? What do we need, chat? So we have environment, a reason to fight. I when people describe what they do, not just I smack the enemy. Okay, so flavor. You gotta put a little fucking like paprika or something on that fucking like on that level 3 smite that you do to the big bad evil guy's head. You don't have to go bonk, you know, like you fucking like you bash away one of his attacks and you bring your mace up, hitting in the chin and just going and just fucking like bones from his jaw like fucking breaks off, and then just go into his head and his fucking you spew his brains all over the wall. Like flavor like that's fun, and now that's not for everybody. I know some people who play D&D who cannot deal with gore in the slightest, but for the people that like it, ooh. Well, yeah, narrative combat can drag on. Okay, so that brings us to another thing. So flavor, you need some of that, but speed. It needs to be fast. As it goes, short but sweet. You don't want it to be too long. And you could have a long combat can have its enjoyable bits, but a lot of the time it's not really done right. Fix the turn economy. Convenience to be the paragon, have multiple turns to be a threat. Okay, that's another big thing. Okay, so I'm gonna create another section. What would be nice for combat? Okay, this is gonna be another big one. Okay, so turn economy balance. Turn economy balance. For 1vx fights. Oh yeah, so we'll actually 1v for one big enemy versus party fights. Okay, so like for one big enemy, so like let's like the BBEG versus the whole party, that a lot of time that can get boring as shit, especially because if they don't have Paragon. Yeah, their needs and when it comes to Paragon actions, this is actually something we see in Darkest Dungeon, of where like the big bad guy has multiple actions a turn, and you might say, "Oh, isn't that broken?" Well, yeah. If you pair it with like 10 like minions of his, then yeah, it's gonna be broken as shit because they have more turns. It's just not as good. Oh yeah, okay, and then tactics, device enemy types, and local killing tools. Pushing the troll. Okay, so yeah, so that goes into environment. That right there, like pushing a troll into the water wheel to kill it. That would be environment. Goes VG without minions. It's always one bad guy. That can definitely be done well. I'm running a small dwarf only campaign. Players kill a troll they should not have been able to defeat for at least another session by crushing it to death under a water wheel. Yeah, so that's where some of the fun parts of combat comes out, where it's like you have all these tiny little men just managing to push a troll under a water wheel and kill it. That's really cool. That's the kind of moments we want to have. And that's why I feel like environment is important. They should think about what they want to do before it's their turn to go. Okay, so I'm kind of just like jumping around here because like that's kind of how my brain works, is that I kind of just jump around from topic to topic. I'll try to keep it somewhat succinct. But when it comes to players planning out like ahead of time their turns, that's what we're writing here is something that, like, if you are a DM, this is the things you should focus on. These are the things that you should focus on. Hold on, pour myself another cup of tea. They need to finish fast on civil grounds. Yeah, it keeps combat fast. Yeah, there you go. They have to finish fast or else. So yeah, that's another thing that could be done. But then there's also like how many situations where you could realistically do that. And that's something that I feel like that's more of a standard that you would need to set with your players, where it's like, if you don't go fast enough, like we'll just skip your turn. But the thing is, there's kind of a line that you need to toe there. Like there is a fine line where something like that can get from like putting a little bit of stress to unfair. Because like the clock ticking down, you have this much time to figure out what to do. That can add stress, but if it's too short, then that can get unfair. And every 3 minutes more minions come out, it stops table time. Okay, that is a good idea, but there's one problem there. And that problem is balance. If you have, and also like where it also like statistically it doesn't really make a lot of sense. Unless it's just like, well, that's assuming that the fight's happening in a vacuum and there's no other enemies around. But if there are other enemies outside of the fight, and it's like, oh, like the fight goes on for so long, the other people take notice and then they come in and join in the fight. That's actually a good mechanic. I like that. That's a good idea. Oh, okay. What else? Things that the combat needs to be fun. Smart enemies. Well, it's not supposed to put not dumb, not mentally incompetent enemies. You need enemies that are not mentally incompetent. Oh, I'll go back. God damn it. Okay, you want to have enemies that aren't mentally incompetent. So you want them to have strategies, where it's like, oh, this person goes and does this thing, this person doesn't do this thing. So yeah, the phone timer, I like that idea. That's a good idea. So this is from an old 3.5e based on Journey to the West. Yeah, the Chinese Myst version. Enemies had mystical powers that confuse and scare the party. They kept them guessing. That's definitely a neat idea. There's one toad boss that would eat the martial weapons. The marshal's weapons. That's fun. But so yeah, okay, then that's. I'm gonna put that in what would be nice, and that would be variety. Enemy variety. Enemy variety. Now, something to say about enemy variety is some of the time you don't actually need enemies that are like mechanically different. Now, actually a little bit of a precursor to that point, to the point that I'm about to get to there. When it comes to enemy variety, this is this is like a big thing for homebrewing enemies, for making your own homebrew enemies. Like, make shit that the party that's beyond the party's wildest dreams. Like, if you're doing like a like almost kind of Cthulhu-y and kind of like horror like kind of horror campaign, or like a part of the campaign that's supposed to be really scary and has all these big monsters, make your own homebrew like monsters. And if you really want to go all out, make your own visuals for it, and make like some really horrid shit that's gonna make the party just go, oh fucking Jesus Christ, like just really like. If anyone needs help with insane enemy ideas, just ask. Oh yeah, if you need help with a weird enemy idea, ask Toyota. He's real good at that sort of shit. I think there should be 2 ways to win a battle. The physical ways, interaction, or a mix. I don't want it to be a railroad campaign. That's another thing. Is that there needs to be more than one way to win a battle besides I kill everything. You know the changeling things that 8 people? Fog Forest encounter. Oh yeah, those are fun to make. Oh yeah, you did make those yourself. I do remember that encounter. So there was like an entire minor session that I did with another player, and it was just me and him. And we were sent out to go to a forest that had like changelings, that had like changeling monsters that were eating people. And retreating is always an option. Yeah, so that's another thing. So there. And now, this gets into something that I think about with combat for D&D. Combat in D&D should be harder. It should be harder. Now the thing is, the reason why people don't think about just like talking to the enemy, or they just don't think about retreating, is because in their mind they're thinking, oh, we can win this. Like, oh, they're thinking like they're subconsciously metagaming of where they're thinking, oh, we can win this because the DM engineered it to be like that. I'm gonna use wounds and shit. Combat is very, very lethal. Yes, exactly, Toyota. But something, if you can talk, or if you speaky/cunning, do it. Yeah, but there's a D&D show that I watch. These injury table, and I have to roll every time they drop to 0 HP. Yes, that's also a fun part. But this is like all like extra side things. These are like adding rules on. What I want to focus on is what can you do with the current rules. Is like with the rules that are already in D&D, what could you do with them? And I feel like this is one of them. Just make combat harder. Just make it harder. But the thing is, you need to understand that by making combat harder, you need to be more open to possibilities. Because it's very easy just to make an encounter where you expect the party to kill everything, they kill everything, you move on. But it's a lot more fun to make an encounter where there's like a decent chance where the party cannot kill them, and the party actually might get killed. Bright light, dim light, no light. Oh yeah, I definitely do like that, but that is something that people forget about a lot. It's vision rolls. Vision rolls are pretty good though. Yeah. Makes people okay. Curious how to explain how they do their magic and what they say to cast. That's also another thing. There was actually something I'm thinking about for a campaign that I'm creating right now, which doesn't even have a name yet. That's like how in development it is that there isn't even a project name. Usually when I have a creative project, it has a name. This doesn't even have a name yet. There was an idea for a monster I had, which was like based on hearing, and if anybody in the party had tried to cast a spell, I'd ask them, what are the components? And if they said verbal, then I would say roll for stealth. Like, are you gonna try to cast it sneakily? And if they said like I'm gonna try to do it sneakily, then they'd roll for stealth, and then if they pass, they pass. If not, they don't. But if they didn't, then while they're casting a spell, the monster would hear them. Never used it. Improvised weapons. There's never a time when you would want to use an improvised weapon over just your weapon, especially a bludgeoning weapon. There's never like a fucking time where I could think about where I'd want to be besides for fun. Like if you get in a brawl, if you get like in a barroom brawl, You're not gonna if your monk isn't gonna like pick up, like your barbarian isn't gonna pick up a chair and beat him over the head with it unless you have somebody who's really fun playing the barbarian, because it's just not efficient. It's not an efficient use of an action. They're gonna take their maul and just fucking beat the guy's head in because it's way more, it deals more damage. You have proficiency bonuses. Players are going to do what is most efficient. You see this even in video games, where players will do what is most efficient even if it's not the most fun. So what you need to do is you need to find a balance between that fun and efficiency. You want it to be fun, but also viable. And now there's a whole huge thing of like, well, how the fuck do you do that? I have no clue. That's such a big fucking question. How do you make like improvised weapons viable? How the shit do you do that? I have no clue. Don't fucking ask me. I mean, you could do I mean, you could do like a social thing of where it's like your party gets in a brawl. Yeah, Papega. I'm Papegging really hard right now. Can't speak. Where your characters get into a ballroom brawl and the one draws a sword and everyone else is like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" And then it immediately ends because your character drew a sword. And it's like, whoa! That's like going in for like kind of just like a fun little, like you're with the boys and you kind of just like kind of start play fighting and you just fucking like you're hitting each other. You're not hitting each other that hard. And then one guy pulls out like a knife. Is like, I'm gonna fucking cut you. You're like, whoa, what the fuck, dude? It's like, Jesus Christ. And then like the guards would get involved and are like, what the shit? What's wrong with you? You pulled out your fucking long sword in a ballroom in a ballroom brawl. What is wrong with you? Like, that's one way you could do it. But if that guy picked up a chair and just hit someone over the back with it, it's a ballroom brawl. It's a chair. He wasn't gonna use his sword. That's insane. Why would you want to? Chad. The Chad pulls out a fucking sword. No, the Chad picks up the fucking bar stool and just beats a guy with it. In my mind, that's the Chad. Fuck the sword. Stool. To me, that'd be fucking funny. But you need to find the balance. Let me reconnoiter my thoughts. Things you need for combat to be fun, which you can do as a DM, not as a player, as a DM, because a lot of this falls on the shoulders of the DM. Banned because of 3 emotes. What? Wait, why did you get banned? That's a Twitch globally? When? I did not know that Chad face was a global emote. I didn't fucking know that. What do you mean banned because of 3 emotes? Did you like put that in it isn't? When I put my mouse over, it says Twitch global. Is it like for a specific streamer? If so, that's fucking... It's from Vodicus? Yeah, I said Vadi, Chad, so what am I expecting? Just joking. Yeah, I'm kind of dumb. I'm fucking Papega as shit, dude. I feel like when it comes to me talking about stuff, it's a combination of Papega and Fivehead. I either say something really smart or really fucking dumb. And I feel like that's part of it. We Papegging. Yeah, I'm Papegging real hard. Oh god, dude. Oh Jesus. Wanna know what it's something that I really want? If there was like ever a Twitch council for like people who are like not mental disabilities, but just like sort of like for like autism awareness, I would love it if it was Papega. As an autistic person, I would love it if the symbol was Papega, because Papega is the perfect embodiment, I feel like, of autism. It really is, because it's like Twitch has a fascination with Pepe.
and then it's just it's perfect. I don't know what it is. I want Pepega as a symbol of autism, please. Thank you and goodbye. Oh jeez. I'd find that really funny. The pride, like a pride flag for autistic people, and it's fucking Pepega. Oh, that'd be really funny to me. But I'm getting sidetracked. I'm getting sidetracked so hard. That's what every one of these streams is. As soon as people start showing up and and we start chatting, I just get fucking sidetracked every time. But so, as I was saying, to make D&D combat fun as a DM, there's a couple things you want to consider. You want to consider why they would fight, the environment the fight is going on in. You want to think about how you can make the fight go faster, and then what the enemies would do. One easy way to do this, to have not mentally incompetent enemies or just dumb enemies, is when you play your enemies, don't think of your PCs as like your friends. Think of them as somebody you're trying to beat in an online strategy game. Think of them as that. In other words, dehumanize your players. Don't care for them as people when you're playing when you're doing the enemy's turn. Think of them as the enemy, because that's what the creatures are fighting them are thinking about. They're thinking about, how am I gonna kill this fuck? And then there's also like what would be nice for combat, which is like turn economy stuff, which generally I don't really have I don't have a major problem with the turn economy. You just need to be kind of careful. But the one thing I would add on is, if you want to do those big like 1v the party, like the party versus a big bad guy, like not like the big bad evil guy, but just like a big enemy, and there's just one of him, make him a paragon. Make him a paragon creature, which is like, oh, he has multiple turns, and then when he gets at certain points of his health, he does different things, and that's gonna be really fun. I'm gonna take a bath, BRB. We bath at 4. Is it 12:40 for you, Gabriel? Oh my god. Can we get a fucking clap in chat for Gabriel for sticking around? I love this man. But let's actually fucking get to the whole reason why I had this stream tonight, which was prep. We've been talking for an hour and 20 minutes, and I haven't even fucking told you what the premise of this campaign, of my new campaign, is. Jesus Christ. Disgusting. I'm gonna actually save this for later, because I like what I wrote here. Combat needs to be fun. I'm gonna leave this for me later. D&D 5e. Okay. I don't have a fucking name for this campaign. I don't have a name for it. I have no fucking clue what to call this campaign. Actually, I can't play this as copyrighted. Hold on. Time for us to find music that isn't copyrighted, boys. Ugh. I would actually love to just play some Perturbator. I don't know how to fucking pronounce it, dude. But I would love to actually play some of it on stream. But it's copyrighted and I can't do that. So fucking sucks for me. It's annoying. It's very annoying. Let me find some lo-fi shit. Let me find some nice lo-fi, my boys. I could listen to some classic music. Nah, classic music doesn't go. Mega Drive are also good. Dark synth. Daniel, I feel like I've heard of Daniel Deluxe. I think I know that one, but I haven't heard of Mega Drive. The Behemoth remix for Perturbator I think by Gust. Was he the one that did the remix, or was it Perturbator? I don't know. Either way, love the song. I love listening to it when I run. Nothing helps you run by like when you're mid 1 mile run, like putting the fear of God in you. Instrumental Retribution has Hello Perturbator Death Squad vibes. Yeah. Also, you gotta fucking love the name of dark synth songs. Instruments of Retribution, Behemoth, Death Squad. There's an AMV that somebody did for Death Squad that is, oh, it's fucking golden. It's so good. It's from a anime movie. That's where like they got the base footage from, and it exemplifies it so well. And like with what the actual events happening in the movie, they'd line up with the beat, like with the beat of the song, and at certain like high notes, and it's so good. Let me just fucking pull it up. I'm gonna pull it up and put it in chat. That's how much I fucking like that song, the rendition that person did of it, because it's so good, and I love watching it sometimes. Let me find it. Let's see. Oh, here it is. No, yeah, but so the AMV is from Jinro, the Wolf Brigade. Real fucking great. I'm putting it in chat. I'm putting it in chat right now. If you want to see what I'm talking about, watch that video. It's really good. I absolutely love it. And I actually love the song Death Squad by Perturbator. I would play it on stream, but copyright, so we can't listen to it on stream. Sadly, boys, we cannot. So instead, we're just gonna listen to some fucking lo-fi, which we'll have to do with for now. I would love it if they actually like fixed the fucking copyright laws, and then I could play fun shit on stream. But for now, I kind of just have to stick with this. Otherwise, I'm gonna get in trouble with the big man upstairs. Metaphorically, of course. My dad would not give a shit if I did that. Combat Ready Ghost Runner, Star Eater Mega Drive songs names: I Am the Program, Video Stalker, Instruments of Retribution. Yeah, there's something I love about dark synth song names, of where it fits that perfect line between like intimidating as fuck and cool. Like if it's the good line between edgy and cool. It manages to hit that just right. Like the line, but it manages to be cool, like kind of like dark cool, without being edgy, and I love it. And I love it to death. As for and early morning lifts, for sure. There's nothing quite like something that's. I might sound like a psycho for saying this. There's I coordinate my workouts to music, keck. Oh no, yeah. Like when you're doing workouts, when you're doing lifts, you can't really listen to like fucking like Moonlight Sonata. Moonlight Sonata is a great song, and it has its purpose, but I don't want to listen to it while I'm doing fucking reps. That's like it doesn't work. It's a good song, it just doesn't work for it. This slaps. I'll listen to it later. Let me actually open it up. I'm just gonna open it up, pause it. Ooh. I got like a little taste of it, and I already love it so far. Where are my other fucking windows? Hold on. I'm gonna put it over here. I'm gonna listen to it later. It already sounds fucking sick, and I only heard like a second of it. Fucking nice. Doing something funny. I actually played Kino on stream, and I don't think I got copyright striked. Look at the album cover. Oh yeah, I saw it. It's fucking sick. There's something I love about that of dark synth makes it like kind of cyberpunk. Let me do a quick Google search. Copyright Kino. They don't care to strike. Usually they don't care, and the singer's dead. True, and you know it's from like a band from the 80s. Well, no, like I know the band may not care, but what like who owns the music? That's the question. Who owns the music? That's my thought, is who owns the music by Kino? Like, who owns it? That's my thought. Kino, Russian band. And, like, who owns the label, essentially? They're so iconic, they're basically public domain. Well, there's a difference between basically and is. Because if it's basically public domain... Okay, the labels... Let's see how many of these companies have gone under. Alright, there's Anthrop. Alright, have they gone under? Okay, that's one company has gone under. Let's look at the other ones. Okay, well, this one was owned by the Soviet Union, so I'm assuming that one went under. And then Yanashiva Shela. They're so iconic. I know, yeah, like the actual music itself is fucking iconic as well. And I cannot even find anything for this company. So I think we're good. Okay, boys, we're listening to Kino. Change of pace, we're listening to Kino, because I want to. And it fits what we're doing. And I'm gonna be honest, it's been a little while since I've listened to Kino. It's been a fucking hot minute since I've listened to this. The Last Hero is the best song. Is that... The Last Hero. Is that a song by Kino or is it by a different band? Because, unless you couldn't tell, yes, it is. Okay. There's a good chance I've actually probably already listened to it. I just don't know because all the names are in Russian. Oh, no. There's one in English. There is one. Actually, no. Okay, there's like an album that is in it that has English titles. Well, the rest of it's Russian. The rest of it's all Russian, I think. Actually, no. There's a couple ones that have some English titles, but most of the time, I don't know what it is, dude. I don't know. Which album is it from? Is it from one of their 1990? Oh, that one. Oh, yeah, that one. Yeah, that's from their, if I remember correctly, I want to say 1980. I want to say 7. Ah, shit. No, that's their 1989 band. That's their 1989 album. And that is... Match. Oh, yeah, that's their 6th track. I've definitely listened to this one before because the album that came out with, the album that song came out in, is one of my favorites. I think it's one of the ones I originally started listening to because the first song of theirs that I ever heard was the 10th track on that one, which is... Too bad I don't know Russian, boys. Let me just hold on. So it's the 6th one. Oh yeah, this one. Yeah, I've listened to this one before. This is a good one. But the first song I ever heard of them was... Yeah, it was this. What was this song? This is the first song of Kino that I ever heard. 2000... Oh, hold on. Hold on. I see a copyright message on the bottom of the page for their album. Hold on. That's the song Good Night. Fuck, of course it's called Good Night. I think I actually remember you and me chatting about what the song actually meant, because like I can't understand the lyrics, but something about it I was just like, this is like sorrowful as shit. I'm like, I like this. And I think you and me were in a call one night, Toyota, and we chatted about it, and I was like, oh my god. So yeah, that's what that fucking song is about. Yeah, it's about the people going to sleep and never waking up during an air raid. Yeah, I remember you telling me that, and I was like, holy shit, dude. I knew this song was depressing. That's a whole other thing. So there's a copyright, actually, for the 1989 album in 2018. Kino, but edgy. You're telling me that actually, Kino isn't really edgy. Huh. That's like a weird thought in my brain. Kino isn't really that edgy. Weird. Yeah, we're on 2 of these. We're on 2 cups. Oh, no, I didn't mean to open that again. Okay, let's actually fucking do some campaign prep. Jesus Christ. We're an hour and 30 minutes in. I have not written down a single fucking word. Jesus. Okay, let me pitch you the concept of this campaign first. Because I want to get your guys' thoughts on it. Because I want this to be like the first campaign I ever do. So, I actually finished the book Metro 2033 recently. When I actually finished it, I went on one of my walks, and I was up on like a mountain, like on a mountaintop. And I was sitting there, and it was like dark. It had gotten dark by then, because usually when I go out on my walks, it's like starting to get dark, and then by the time I get home, it's blackout. Like it's like the sun has gone down, the moon is out, fucking it's dark. And so I was halfway. I think I had like 16 minutes left in the book, and I was like on the last little stretch, and I wanted to get to the top of the mountain just before I actually finished the book, because I wanted to sit down, eat a sausage, and have an orange, because those are the things that I'll bring on my walks. Is I'll carry a sausage and an orange, like a pre-cooked sausage, so that like when you go to the grocery store and you buy sausages, like the big fat ones, like those are pre-cooked. Like, if you get pre-cooked ones, if you get a pre-cooked sausage, you can just take it out of the package, wash it off, and then start eating it. And I like to do that because it tastes good. I don't know, it's fun. That's what I like to do. It tastes good, and it's nice to eat, because you just kind of go, you eat it like a fucking animal, or like a vagabond. It's fun. But so, I got up to the top of the hill, and there's a fucking, what is it? It's like a railroad tie plank. You know the ones, the big fucking hunks of wood that they'd use on railroads, as like a tie between the two between the two rails. And there's one of theirs, and it's just fucking sitting on the hill. Like way back when, there used to be plastic chairs up there, but then I think the people that lived there like got rid of them. And so now there's just this giant fucking plank of wood. And that's what I sit on. And I went up there, and it was fucking dark. It's dark out. The sun's gone down. And I was sitting there, and I just sat there, and I looked over California. And I just listened to the end of Metro 2033 while eating a sausage and peeling an orange. It was a fucking good time. I'm telling you, chat. It was a good time. There's nothing like just being tired. Next one's actually public domain. Oh shit, is it? My eye. Oh yeah, just by looking at this I can tell you this is a fucking old one. Alright, we'll listen to this, why not? Where the motherland begins. Where does the motherland begin? Okay, so I listened to the end of the Metro 2033 audiobook on top of the mountain, and it was a fucking great time. It was great. And so I've been listening to a lot of Metro shit. I actually started listening to Metro 2034. And I actually kind of looked through the reviews, and people were like, oh, I don't really like it as much as the first book. But they kept the same narrator, so everyone's like, oh, I fucking love the narrator. Because the narrator that they have for the books is really good. He does a great job. That's written for the Russian military from Sword and Shield. Interesting, I didn't know that. But so I've been listening, and I've also played like all 3 of the Metro games on stream. We've done it before. We've played the Metro games on stream. And I was like, oh shit. So I've been doing a lot of Metro stuff. I've been just burying my head in that rabbit hole for a little while. It's like, I want to make this into my first like D&D campaign. So I was like, how the fuck am I gonna do that? My first thought was do like Underdark. Actually, no, my first thought was, like, I want to do an actual Metro, where it's set in the Metro universe. And I would use the Call of Cthulhu, I think 7th edition, which is the newest one, I'm pretty sure. Maybe it's 8th edition, I don't know. It's been a little while since I've played Call of Cthulhu, but I was like, I want to do a fucking Metro campaign, because I love this universe, I love the writing in the world, And something that's even more fun is in the second book, in Metro 2034, not to give us spoilers, but there are so many fucking monsters that you never know about in the games. Like, in the games you have Nosalises, you have the spiders, you have demons, you have watchers, lurkers, you have all sorts of shit. But there's tons of creatures that are in the books that you just never hear about in the games. Like, you don't even hear about them. You'll fight some. You'll fight, like, some of the monsters, like the shrimps and then the big-ass shrimps. But you never... There's, like, a lot of other monsters that you never hear or see. You never hear about them, you never see them, and they're never hinted to. Like, a big thing is rats. Oh my god. In the Metro books, rats are fucking scary. Holy shit. Like, rats nowadays are like, you can find them cute, and they are kind of cute in my opinion. But hordes of rats, but in the Metro books, oh fuck. Especially the first one. Rats are almost like... Oh, I remember there's one point where rats are referred to as black lava, like a horde of rats, because if they go through a station, they'll just rip apart anything that's alive and just eat it. Like, holy shit, that's scary. Oh my god. But then also there's an interesting ending of the book, which is you can tell if the tunnel you're in is like fucking dangerous or something's not right if there's no rats. Because rats are like the ultimate, are like almost an omnipresent thing, like creature in the Metro. So if you go into a tunnel and there's no rats, something's wrong. Something's really fucking wrong. And that usually means there's like an anomaly or something, or there's something big enough that the rats don't want to fuck with it. Period. At all. They don't want to deal with it. And so it's like, whew. But there's a lot of monsters in the books that you hear about. A lot of monsters you hear about in the books that you never hear or fight or do anything with in the games. And also, I think like some of them have different names. Like I know in the second book, there are creatures called corpse eaters. And in the descriptions, they sound like spiders. But in the books, they never talk about webs. It's just mist. Speaking of rats in the Call of Cthulhu, I was running a campaign that took place inside the trenches of World War I. Many creatures were trapped inside a collapsed fort after the disaster at Verdun. The dark was a tool for horror. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I have realized the amount of like fun and how much potential there is in just the lack of light, of darkness. There's so much potential for that. One of the main enemies was living mass of barbed wire. Holy, oh my god. That's fucking good. Oh, I actually really like that. Holy shit, that's really cool. That's fucking terrifying. One of the main enemies was a living mass of barbed wire and corpses. Holy shit, that's fucking terrifying. Like, is it almost kind of like gelatinous blobbish, of where it was a living pit of mud when the players was drowned in the tide. Holy shit. Something I wanted to do. Okay, now back to the main topic I was talking about. I've been doing a lot of Metro stuff, and I was thinking, how could I do Metro? I want to bring Metro to friends of mine that know nothing about fucking Metro. Because I think it's a fucking great game series and a great book series. I was like, how could I bring them into this? It could be anywhere at any time. That's terrifying, and I love it. I'm thinking, how could I bring Metro to my friends that haven't played, that have only heard of Metro through me? How could I bring this to them? So I was like, I want to do it in like a TTRPG fashion, because I like TTRPGs. They're fun. They're hella fun. They're pretty much this entire channel is based off of. It's like, how could I do that? First thought, Cthulhu 7th edition. So I was like, okay, I don't really want to have, like, that could be fun, and maybe I'll actually do that with people, with like, with some of my friends who are old-time Metro fans, like Toyota Warlord. He was actually one of the people that I've talked. Whenever I get ideas, usually I'll pitch them at him, and then he's usually a good base board of whether it's a good idea or not. But And then I had a thought where it's like, oh, okay, what if I do it in Dungeons and Dragons? How could I do that? And I was like, I don't really know. And then I had like a fucking big brain moment. I was like, oh shit, I could do it in the Underdark. But then I was like, actually, hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. That is possible, but it's missing one of the main ideas of Metro. Which I actually talked about this a little bit on stream earlier, but I'm going to talk about it a little more again. By the way, I just sent you something interesting. All right, I'll take a look at it in a second. But so, survival is the most important theme. And if I were to do it in the Underdark, how I could do it is where you guys are like some shitters, like fucking just like bottom of the barrel people who live in this vast cave network of systems, and we could have like the anomalies, and that's like magical effects and shit, or like rips in time like in space, and so you have like Eldritors and crap. There is a way I could do it, and then the goal would be getting to the surface. And it's like you guys are at the bottom, and I could do a fun thing of where there's like a map, and I could have on my end. You guys would never see it, but it's like, oh, they're this far up, like they're this close to getting to the surface. You guys control, you get to the surface, and then that's the end of the campaign. And it's like, oh, we've gone through this harrowing journey to like make it to the better world. But then I was like, no, that's not Metro. An aspect of Metro is how fucking desolate it is. There isn't, like, in Metro 2035, there is that, of where it's you trying to get to the better world. Yeah, like, the first two, like, there is a progression in the Metro story of where it becomes that, where in Metro Exodus, you're trying to get to a better place and make a colony. But it's never completely, oh, we're going to make it to this place and then everything's going to be great. There is still an acknowledgement of an inescapable, as Toyota Warlord put it himself in chat, that's not Metro at all, to be honest. Metro is inescapable doom. If you've ever watched Adventure Time, the Lich is a good personification of one of the things I love about Metro. The Lich is almost the personification of the idea that everything dies, no matter what. And that's why in the show, they never beat the Lich. They never fully beat him. He always comes back. And that's because he's not like a person. He is an aspect of the world and of nature. So I was thinking, so then I got to thinking, how the hell could I do that? How could I make inescapable doom for a DD campaign and keep some of the actual aesthetic things I love about Metro, with being like the tunnels, the fucking barren surface, or like the surface, you can go up to the surface, but holy shit is it difficult. Like it would be way easier just to stay in the mine, like stay down underground where there's not as many threats and the air won't fucking kill you. And that's actually another thing I like about Metro, which is you can almost kind of see a divide between two types of people in the Metro world. Those who will just put up with their situation and stand their ground, of where they fully acknowledge that something's wrong with their situation, but they've thrown up their hands and they know there's nothing they can do. They think there's nothing they can do about it. And then there are those who go to the surface and try to do something. I like how that's almost a physical barrier between, and this actually gets into a little bit about a previous character that I was writing one time, which I think the first stream I described him as making the Ubermensch, or man beyond men, of making somebody who is able to see beyond the veil of humanity and be a greater man for it. That's something I wanted to do. But so, how can I create this in a D&D 5th edition setting? And the combat was my first thought. That was one of my first thoughts. Well, actually, it wasn't the first thought. It was more like a thought I had after a couple other thoughts. But that was one of the things I've always thought about. For most men fear hard work more than death. It's something I say far too often. Hard work more than death. Oh, yeah. Oh, and then there's also a great quote from John F. Kennedy, which is actually also in like the Call of Duty Black Ops zombie games, which is do not wish for ease. I forget how the quote goes. I think it's something do not fear no, what is it? This is like one of my favorite quotes like ever. And it's do not wish for easier times. Wish to be stronger men. That was one of my favorite ones. The quote is derivative from the Bible. It says not to fear death. It is a little bit, but that is kind of how quotes are, of where every quote is a derivative of another quote. Because it's the same idea just being said multiple different times. And that's kind of the same with stories as well. But, yeah, for sure. It's like, do not wish for easier times. Wish to be stronger men. And I was like, that's something I like. Ask not for lighter burdens. Pray for broader shoulders. Well, there you go. There you go. I love that quote. I actually like that quote too. That's one of my favorite quotes. Ask not for lighter burdens, ask for broader shoulders. Whoever loves his life will lose it. Whoever hates his life in this world will keep it for eternal life. Yes, chat. Yes, you're getting into the mindset. And so I started fucking concocting like some crazed madman I am. How death with meaning is better than life without. That's true. I think I would kind of agree with that. So how do I create that in a D&D game? How do I create the ideas of inescapable doom, of being a man beyond men? Ask not for lighter burdens, but pray for broader shoulders. How do I do that? Then one of my thoughts that I have now is a thought that I've always had for a while is combat. Make combat harder. So yeah, the whole reason I wasn't just rambling like nonsensically about combat. It had its purpose, and I'm we're circling it around. We're bringing it back around, boys. We're bringing it back to the combat. If I ever run a D&D campaign, I want the combat to be something that the characters are fucking terrified of. I want you to fear combat, but I don't want you to fear combat. I want you to fear the things that are hiding in the shadows. If I ever have a character roll for a perception check, I want to see the fear in their eyes of, oh shit, something's here. Or maybe nothing's here. I want to see the fear in my players' eyes. That's what I want. And so the easiest way to do that is to make combat harder. And then also that's that'll be partially on me as well, to get good music for atmosphere, and then also to get into the mood of it, which I feel like I can do. Which I feel like I could do. But then the idea is, how could I do this? We're getting party attention. How I got Donnie to nearly kill you. Oh yeah. So in the Curse of Strahd campaign, how many attempted killings was there of my character? I don't know how many. I think it was Was it really 4? Was it really 4 times? Wow, yeah, Jesus Christ. Well, yeah, that's something you did well, is instill dread in the party. Although something I will say at the end, as much as I loved the combat, near the end, as much as I loved how deadly the combat was, in Curse of Strahd, at the later levels around level 5, I didn't really feel it anymore. Maybe it's because like I just didn't really realize how much danger I was in, but something in my head just wasn't really scared anymore. I don't know why. Something in my brain was just like, oh, I'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Maybe I was just being dumb. That might be one thing. But there's just something in my head that just wasn't worried anymore. And I don't know what it is. Yeah, I mean, I want to keep my players at level 3. Yeah, level 3 is like a scary time. It's ideal for balance. True, it is rather ideal for balance. That's a really easy time to create a time of like sensed danger. It's really easy to create danger at those levels. It's really easy to create a sense of danger at those levels because the party isn't really strong yet. They're not big and strong yet with like their abilities and like their stats and stuff. But I feel like I still want my players to feel like they're progressing. I still want them to level up. Daily Magic is actually a good way to balance it. That is true. It is a really good way to balance it. But it's like, but not so much balancing power level, how do I balance fear? How do I keep a party of like level 10s the same way that they're scared at level 3? How do I do that? How? Like that's a big question. Like, how the fuck do I do that? Well, I can tell you, an enemy that gets stronger every time the party almost kills it. Jesus. Yeah, there would be one way of doing it. That would definitely be a way of doing it. And then also, like, producing bigger threats. Like, when you first start out... but what's an analogy I'm trying to think of? But essentially, just bring bigger threats to the table that have like new ways of scaring the shit out of them. Like the smaller enemies, let's take spiders for example. If I have like a horde of spiders against like a bunch of like 4 level 3 characters, like that, they're gonna be terrifying because they're swarming all over the place. But at later levels, there won't be that much of a problem. Because it's like, oh, we've solved the mystery behind them. Like they're still should be handled well, but it's wait. I had this mutant Illithid Hulk that stalked the party for 8 sessions, only actually fought them when they were resting, and only for 5 of the sessions. Holy shit! Oh my god, Toyota. That's fucking devious. Oh, that's good. That's fucking good. Oh my god. That's fucking good. I like that. That's fucking terrifying. Holy shit. Oh. Sleep is already scary in D&D. Oh my god. Imagine getting fucking, like, stalked by some giant fucking monster in the dark. Holy crap. But anyway, back to the thing I was talking about earlier. How do I get all of those feelings? How do I get all the feelings I want that I would get from like from the Metro games into a D&D campaign? How do I do that? Enemies that you know are there, but actually cannot find their peak horror. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The monster not shown is better than a full reveal. Oh yeah. I mean, that's actually a really big thing. That's actually a great example. A great example of that, of the unknown is scarier than the monstrous known, is The Thing. Is The Thing movies. The first movie of The Thing, fucking terrifying. It's a terrifying movie. One, because the practical effects are good, but also because of how it was written. That's why the 5th worked. You had no idea when he was pulling the strings. That too. But more so with The Thing. In the first Thing movie, you had the sense that it was always evolving, but it never got to its final stage. It kept getting more and more monstrous, but it was never explained. And it was never perfectly explained as a this is what it is. And it was never like fully explained to the point where the viewer would know, okay, this is what it is, this is what it's gonna do. You never really got that. You got that a little bit of where it's like, you got speculations of the characters of what it could be, but you never got a firm answer. And neither did the characters. They never got a firm answer either. But also, you had the sense that it was evolving into something bigger, but you never knew what. You never saw its full creation. You never saw its final form. But I think and then let's go on to Thing 2. Well, The Thing 2. I think, actually no, it's just called The Thing. It's also just called The Thing, but I think it was released in like 2000? I think the reason why that movie wasn't fucking scary, like, it was alright, but it wasn't good as the first one. I think partially because of writing, and also because they explained the monster too much. My Fire campaign is actually something I want to discuss with you after this. I have a lot of suggestions. VG was a mutant elder brain that replaced the members of the party's NPC retinue whenever they were not careful. It learned to adapt to party tactics. Oh my god. Yeah, Jesus Christ. You really are good at creating terrifying shit, Toyota. Oh my god. You are fucking holy shit. Yeah, okay, yeah, you and me really gotta fucking talk sometime after stream about some stuff. It learned adaptive party tactics. Fucking terrifying. You are good at this, goddamn. This is why I'm writing a horror novel. Yeah, this is why you are writing a horror novel, because you're good, because you are fucking good at coming up with this shit. But so anyway. Okay, back to the big question. How do I get this into a D&D campaign? First thing is the story. I need it to... the thing is, I don't want to write just like a completely, like, from the norm, like, holy shit, what the fuck? Like, this is so completely different than anything else I've played or done it else in D&D before. I don't want it to be completely off the fucking wall. Actually, no, never mind. Scratch that. I'm fine with doing a completely fucking off the wall thing, because that's what the fun is like just doing really crazy shit when it comes to a D&D campaign. But how do I give those sense of feeling? And here's a couple of things that I thought of. The main thing that I was focused on was the story. How could I do that? How could I, like, get the players, like, literally trapped underground, like, not trapped underground, but, like, their safe haven was the dark, but it was also their greatest enemy. And so, like, how could I fucking, like, get them underground and, like, fucking terrified? And then, like, how could I get in story, like, in a story narrative way, of where they would have, like I don't know, like a fucking base or something, of where it's like they have this place where the way you make them love the dark is to fear the absence of artificial light. Yep, there you go. That's true. But so I was thinking, I was like, how? Because here's some things that I want to do. One thing that I want to do is I don't want the players coming in to actually know what they're getting into. Like, I don't want them to, like, it's like, okay, guys, we're doing a campaign. It's gonna be like the Metro games. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. Yeah, I don't want to go in like that. I want to go to my players and be like, there's this city, and I would give them all the details about the city. And I'd be like, make your character and have them a reason to go here. Give them a reason. And if you can't think of one, we can come up with one together. I just want your character to be in the city for a reason that is important, not just, oh, I was passing through. Like, maybe I could do that for one, but I would like a couple of the characters to have, like, big reasons why they were there. And it's like, well, why are you there? Maybe you lived there for a long time. And then have some sort of event where the city goes to shit. everything goes fucking horribly wrong, and they're stuck there in the city. And not just like a fucking like, oh, medieval kingdom city, but like a kind of big fucking metropolis. Like fucking city. Big, huge, maybe not metropolis, like big. How can I do that? In story reasons, without it being fucking ridiculous. And like not, and just completely take them out of like the idea of any sort of like D&D realism. How the fuck could I do that? How? And then also, okay, so here, actually, maybe I should actually start writing shit instead of just going and at you guys. And then it just gets fucking lost to the airwaves or some shit. Okay. First, let's come up with actual fucking name for this project. Because I don't have one. I don't have a project name for this. Let's do... Let me think. This is good tea. I like this tea. As soon as I said that, as I like this tea, this is good tea, I heard like a voice in the back of my head. It's like, you drink the same shit every day, you fucking dumbass. Of course you like the tea. Of course you fucking like it. You drink it every day, you fucking dumb idiot. Well, actually, I don't drink it every day. But anytime I'm like, oh, I'm drinking tea today, it's always the same thing. I'm always drinking chai tea with like sugar. Same thing all the fucking time. All the time. You never change the recipe, dude. You just drink the same shit. You never change it. So why are you going like, I like this tea in particular? Yeah, no kidding. You drink it all the time, you dum-dum. Alright. What lies in the dark? / Apocalypse came down. I forget how to spell this. Did I spell that right? I don't know if I fucking spelled that right. Hold on, chat. I don't think I fucking spelled it right. Did I? I don't know if I did. I don't think I did. No, I didn't. Ah, it's an ah. There you go. Doink. And put it up there. Apocalypse. Okay. Now, I will say, I actually have a little bit of an idea of how I could do a story like this going into this. And I actually, like, fucking did a bunch of voice memos on my phone. And so I have, like, a bunch of memos just saying, like, explaining the idea that I have here. So the first thing is, so the party, okay, the beginning, party is in real big city. First thing, pretty fucking basic. The party is in a real big city. Now, what's the city like? What I want it to be like is like an artificer heaven. Like I wanted to create a city where they got really big by using magic in interesting ways. Like making fucking like inventing like pseudo magic trains and shit by just like fucking like using runes and shit. And then it's powered off of like something, and they have that and goes, and I want to create like a tech city, where it's like tons of like fucking magic gadgets and shit, which have just been implemented into everyday life, and then during the really big event, all of it gets like fucking taken out. Like minerals that serves as light and power. We're a bit on this power goes meltdown. That is one idea. Okay, actually, we're gonna add this, a possible conflict. We're gonna create a possible conflict. So I actually have it for you. So possible conflicts. Oh, that would be neat. Oh, the mineral is the byproduct of some monster. I could do that. That could be interesting. create, just create like a fucking like Chernobyl meltdown in D&D. Have that be a campaign. That could be interesting. I like that idea. Hold on. I'm actually just gonna fucking screenshot that shit. Hold on. Give me a minute. Mix it up. I'm not even gonna bother writing. Oh, the poison arrow is a permanent threat. That's also another good idea. I'm just fucking possible conflicts. I'm not even gonna bother writing it out. Bonk. There you go. As a put a run for, it can never see. Wait. What? Bonk. Possible conflicts. Possible conflict number 1. This. Just this. I like this. So I'm putting that on the possible lists. Okay, but then the thing is with this is, why wouldn't the party just leave? Why wouldn't they just go, oh, everything here is fucked. See ya. Like, the civilians, during like a really big war, when the civilians are in a country, or when civilians are in a state that's losing or they know is doomed, there's either two things they'll do. They'll sit there and fight back to the bitter end, or they'll leave. But in the people that live there, and like the party members that live there, or just like noble heroes, they'll stay and help. But what about the people who aren't? They'll just go, oh, everything's fucked around here. See ya. Keep them out. No one knows who they are. Yes. This is also another thing. I also had a similar idea to this, of where like this big event happens, and then over the city is just like this fucking dome that's just like keeping all this shit in. Just like operates the magic field that keeps them out. Wait. Keep them out of what? That's the question. I've never fucking ever see, because the power never operates the magical field that keeps them out. Power operates the magical field that keeps them out. No one knows who they are, but at the last time they entered, there were no survivors. Plot twist: the wall actually separates the bottom half of the city. Interesting. That's an interesting idea. Let me think about that one for a second. He has to run from a fucking ever see it, because the operate powers magical field that keeps them out. No one knows who they are, but the last time they entered, there were never no survivors. The local church cares of falling creates a myth operating the wall. Okay, then comes the question of what's in the bottom half. Alright, I like where this is going, but I'm gonna quickly I'm gonna just like a big, nice, juicy piece of fat on like a steak. I'm just gonna cut it off, put it to the side for a second. I'm gonna just put it to the side for right now. I'm gonna put it to the side for right now. I like where this is going, and we're definitely gonna come back to this. How about I quickly explain the idea that I had? So, I still wanted like a little bit of a big bad evil guy. But it wouldn't become apparent until later, and even then, he's not really like a big bad evil guy. He's just having the light below, a deity of light, but one that is genuinely hateful. Interesting. So he doesn't even know what they worship. That's an interesting idea. That is an interesting idea. But then there's a decent amount of questions that come about. How do we create... Okay, so... Well, the question is then where would the party dwell? Because they can't go to the surface because it's poisonous. Or at least not for very long. But the bottom is also dangerous, so where would they go? is there like a little middle bit of like kind of like the Earth's crust, where it's like, okay, you have this little fucking bit where everything's fine, but if you go any lower, shit starts to get fucked. Is it kind of like that, or it's like you have like the fucky zone 1, the air, nothing's safe up there, and then you have like a middle zone, everything's fine, and then everything down here, which is fucked, but for like a different reason. Hollow Earth Theory, you have to push to the hellscape to get to the promised garden. okay, these are good. Okay, I fucking set him off. He's going off the rails, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, these are good ideas, but I feel like we're diverging a little bit. We need to bring it back. Remember, Metro. We need to bring it back. Okay. With the campaign, what I want is with the idea that I have of like how this all happens, there is kind of a big bad evil guy, but it's not so much that, oh, he was the great cause of all of this. It's not like, oh, it's solely his fault, and once we get rid of him, everything's solved. No. I want him to almost be like an NPC. I want the big bad evil guy to be the fucking city itself. Like, the city is like everything in the city that isn't like down, like even shit down in the tunnels. Like, the only thing that isn't trying to kill you is like your friends. But even then, it's debatable. I want the world to be the big bad evil guy. Like the world they're fucking stuck in. And now there's actually 2 ways I thought about this. So around the time where I was looking at a lot of Metro, a character I've always really liked is the Lich in Adventure Time. I've talked about this a little bit earlier. Embodiment of like that everything dies and shit like that. So I was like, what if I just fucking like, Adventure Time Lich. The Hateful Son is an envious one, being one so elder who doesn't even actively pursue anyone. That could work. That could definitely work. But hold on. Lich Metro. How do I... It just expands to fill all available space. Okay, this is actually kind of tagging into an idea that I had for what I wanted the campaign to be of an eldritch being. Let me get into that now. Or you could take a page out of Dead Space. What's the... Oh, yeah, the page of Dead Space where they fucking dug up a big fucky monolith and it just fucking... The tide of undead that grows smarter and more horrific. Oh, yeah, that would be fucking terrifying. That would be pretty bad. Something... Okay, real quick, let me say the idea that I had for this. So, party comes to like this big sprawling city. It's like fucking like miles wide. It's this giant hub of like magical technology, and it's all led by this big fucking like wizard who's like, he's been around for fucking ages, and he's really good at what he does, and he invented like a decent amount of this shit, and he's the one that leads it, and he lives in this big building in the middle of the city, and it's like almost kind of like the Congress building. This is where this is the big government building in the center. The party goes there, and even now as I'm explaining to these, there's a part of my head where I'm not completely happy with the story, so keep that in mind. This isn't finished yet. I'm nowhere near happy with the current idea that I have of where they're in at the party. They go to the city, everything's great. They're there. The first session is them kind of just getting to know the city, the different districts. They meet some NPCs, and then the end of the session, it ends on a fucking cliffhanger of where like, oh, the big fucky thing happens, and then, okay, oh shit, everyone get underground, and then the beginning of the second session is either, oh shit, everyone is like, well, now we're underground, what the fuck just happened, and what do we do? With the end of the session being, oh fuck, everyone get underground. So there's a couple ideas that I had. Actually, there's one. There's a singular. I settled it down to one idea. So, and funnily enough, it actually has to do with the sun god. Funnily enough. So the party, they're all in this big fucking city. I don't have a name for it yet. This is such like early concept shit. The party's in this big fucking city, and then all of a sudden, this fucking like pulse of energy comes out from like pulse of like fucking like arcanic energy fucking comes out from like the main Congress building. I was like, what the fuck was that? I'm like, huh? Oh god, this fucking sucks, but I'm gonna say it anyway. This is so shit. This is so shit. Fuck it, I'm saying it anyway. How can I explain this? It's fucking difficult in my head to explain this right now. How do I... Okay. I had the idea of where... Okay, let me put this in simple terms. I'm not going to explain it in some cinematic way because I'm not at that stage yet. Usually that's how I explain stuff. It's like, oh, this big fucking thing happens. And then I tell you the details later. Essentially, the party goes to the city, and unbeknownst to everybody there, the head, like the fucking like leader of the city, is like making a deal with like a fucking eldritch entity, and the eldritch entity fucking takes over his body. Little does he know, this is like something that's been fucking locked away by the gods for like fucking like eons. And nobody has really been strong enough to fucking deal with it. And it's like, oh, if it's been locked away for so long, how come like it hasn't broken out before? Well, it could be a thing of where like it has, but it hasn't gotten ever this close before. Of where it's essentially the Lich. Like the main leader of the city, like comes in contacts with the Lich. I'm just gonna call it the Lich for now because I don't have a better explanation of what it is, and it sort of creates a simple idea in the imagination, I feel like. So essentially, he comes in contact with the Lich, and then makes a deal with him, and the Lich starts fucking taking over his body, and that's like what the big fucking like the fucking green pulse of energy shit was earlier, and then out of the fucking sky from the sun just comes like a fucking, either like, I don't know, like a fucking like giant just fucking like, essentially the sun god gets pissed and is like, I'm gonna bomb the fuck out of the city to kill like the vessel of the kill the vessel of the fucking creature, of the entity that's trying to escape its fucking prison. It's like, just fucking kill the vessel. It's just like, oh, giant fucking sun laser starts burning through the fucking city to the capital. And then either something fucking happens, like, and then for some reason it stops, and then it's like, well, I can't kill the vessel now. So you know what? Let's just fucking put a dome around this. Let's just imprison the fucking city in a giant fucking dome that's like an physical embodiment of just like sunlight, so that nothing can escape it. And it blocks magic. So, let's say somebody tries to like teleport out, you can't go. You can't leave. Either, like I actually like put down a thing of two things that would happen if you try to teleport out of the city or inside of it. One, you would either get essentially like caught in the fucking bubble, like a bug in like a fucking bug zapper, just you get fried and you just evaporated, you're gone. Or you appear like a few feet before it, and you get the sense that you can't go through. Two things. So magic can't pass through it because it's put up by like one of the fucking biggest gods in the fucking pantheon. And so it's like, well, we can't kill him, but we can just fucking imprison him again and then try to figure out a way of killing him. And so the party is in there, and they get, oh fuck, I'm describing this. I'm like, this idea fucking sucks. I'm not happy with it at all. God damn it. Hold on, I'm gonna change the music a second. I'm also explaining this so assily. Hold on. Okay. Eldritch Entity Eldritch Entity gets a new vessel. The vessel is like the big fucking leader guy of the city. Sun God tries to destroy the vessel, fails, and decides to instead, for now, just fucking dome the city. You're in the dark, but this is the horrors live. First, where I see some, I was usually the case on being dragged, a king is going to bite tentacles, mouths, and eyes. Whew. That'd be fun. Oh yeah, but then also that was like another thing about how the city actually worked, is like how the tunnels and trail lines would come in with it. Is that this city would essentially have a metro. Pretty much. It would have a fucking just like D&D-esque metro. Of where like after the big fucking thing happens and like the dome gets up, a lot of the like the magical shit that they had just becomes back in a nerd. Although I'm actually really starting to like the idea of the meltdown. I'm starting to like that idea of just like, oh, like there's this big fucking, like this huge mine where it's harvesting where like they're harvesting these crystals and that they're using to power everything because it's like, oh, it's an easy portable power source, so why the fuck do I use it? And then something goes really wrong and then they fucking either awaken something or it's almost like fucking like Chernobylite or Stalker, or like actual what actually happens in Metro, which instead of like a big bomb, like them being attacked by something else, the big bomb goes off, the fucking mine just goes. The fucking I don't know. I really want this fucking to work. I don't have any good ideas though. Okay, back to the original idea I had. Eldritch God is trying to escape his prison, makes a deal, and starts embodying and starts possessing the leader of the nation. Sun God tries to kill it, tries to kill the vessel, fails. It's like, okay, just essentially put it in another prison again. And so the party gets stuck there, and they now have, and like you can still go to the surface, but there are some areas where it is like in Metro where it's just like it's fucking poisonous there, and that actually be probably one of the areas where the giant fucking beam went down, just fucking burned a bunch of shit. That's an area where you can't go to. Of where I want there's almost like a little bit of a Metro Exodus vibe, of where it's like, oh yeah, some areas are safe, some areas are not. Oh, I'm explaining this so poorly. This is really being a pain in this. The Great Flood, a massive reservoir where the city has leaked the tunnels, drowning and bringing things that dwell in dark water. Makes the party afraid of the sound of water. That would also be neat. A lot of good ideas here in chat. I don't feel like many good ideas are from me, though. I don't think my ideas have been great tonight. I'm off my game. I like the idea of like the trains are the only things are tall enough spires to move above water. That would also be interesting. I think I like these ideas, but there's something that's bugging me. I think what's bugging me is the idea. I think what's bugging me is where the monsters are coming from. I don't want them to be like a hidden evil that has now just arrived. That's just like, oh, they've been here all along, but now they're like fully here. You could do a campaign like that. That's not what I'm looking for. What I'm looking for is like almost a morphing of where it's like either it's completely new creatures, like from the fucking far realm or some shit, or it's literally like the local wildlife and fauna, like in Metro itself, of where it just got fucking mutated to shit, and now is off its rocker. Like you have like bats becoming fucking demons, you have these things becoming these things, and it's sort of that. Now, in Metro, that like took a little bit of time. I'm pretty sure. I think that she did, of where it's like things didn't immediately just go, burp, okay, now they're this. Like, it took a little bit of time for it to actually happen. And the city going from completely normal to like Metro Doomscape, that would happen in like a day. So how do we do with that? Because I don't want... There's something in my brain. There's something in like my... Of like, oh, these dark monsters that were here all along but have now just showed up. Because then it creates... Maybe this is just from my perspective as a DM. This might be. I think I might just be getting this as my perspective of a DM. Of where, in the lore... And the party wouldn't even need to let us out, but these creatures have been here all along. But now they have just arrived. Like, I could do that, and then that you've just signed on for, and I was like, fuck. Fuck. Like, this is gonna be a big, hard project that you're gonna have to do. And I was like, okay. I'm not that good at the big picture shit. I'm not. Like, I'm not very good at doing big picture stuff. I'm good at details. That's like my strong suit is details. It's like the small little shit that makes a world feel alive. I'm not great at coming up with the general structure of the entire world. I was able to do it. Actually, people watching this VOD will use them. Who knows? Who knows? But I want to make it feel alive. That's one of the big things. Take the new faction concept. I can see it. I just haven't read it out yet. I want it. That's a big thing with all of my writing. Is I want it to feel real. I want to have it feel like a grounding of reality. When I have like their characters are working pitch black. It's dark as hell. I don't want them to think, oh, we're just going down the tunnel. I want them thinking about what's at the end of the tunnel. What is there just beyond eye's reach? I want them to be able to practically hear like their boots clicking against the stone. You know that sound a boot makes when you walk across like marble? That little, like, almost like clop, like a horse. That click. I want them to be able to hear that. I want when like a spine-chilling breeze goes down the tunnel past them forward. I want it to feel like as if the tunnels themselves are alive, like the lung of a greater beast that is the city, and have their like the hairs on their neck stand up. I want it to feel real. That's the biggest thing that I try to get across in any creative project I do, is that feeling of reality, of where the story will either do two things. Either like you'll either feel the story like put its hand on your shoulder, or it grabs you by the back of your neck and just breathes in your ear. Like, just reality. I want that feeling where it grabs you and pulls you in, like the fucking tide of the ocean if you swim out too far. Just inescapable. That's what I want to get. That's why I'm a really big sucker for details in descriptions. That's why I'm a really big sucker for that's why I'm a really big sucker for details, is because for me, reality is in the details. Like, the big ideas, I have trouble coming with like the bigger ideas, like general story arcs. I'm not great at that. I'm not really that great, because there's a part of my head that's still like, originality. I must have originality. Which myself, I have said there is no such thing as originality. Every story that will ever be told has already been told, like 100 times over. There's no such thing as originality. Completely abandon the idea. I'm aware of that, but subconsciously I still want to be original. So, and then if you boil down stories, which I often boil down stories when I make them in big arcs, I'll boil them down to like a sentence. And then I'll say that sentence out loud, and I'm like, this is just another story. I'm not good at the big stuff, but when it comes to the details, I feel like that's my strong suit. Is like the smaller shit, like just the little cherry on top that fucking makes the ice cream sundae, or like the fucking icing on the cake. I'm not great at making the entire, like, just the cake, the fucking like pong, like the fucking what's the word, like the fucking cake, the cake. I want to say cake bread. What the fuck am I, dude? Oh yeah, the cake bread. I'm gonna make a bit of cake bread. No, I'm not great at creating like the whole central thing. I'm really fucking good at icing though, and I can make that icing look however the hell I want it. Not good at the whole cake thing though. I'm not so good at making the actual like dough and having it rise. Not great at that. I'm not great at cake mixing. I am good at icing though. Anyway, I'm gonna read some messages. Also, the tunnels wheeze with geothermal heat as invented in and out. Tunnels operate like a tide. Low tide, there is not enough air. High tide, the gas begins to seep in. Oh, that's fucking terrifying. Oh, that's also really good. Alright, Faction 3, the Aeronauts. Artificers who have forsaken ground travel. They move along geothermal currents on flimsy glider sailors. Highly idealistic. Huh. That's also interesting. That's also a good one. I don't know where the fuck am I gonna go with this? Where the fuck am I supposed to go from here? Where am I supposed to go now? Okay, I want your thoughts. Of all the garbage I've said tonight, I want to hear your thoughts on it. I want to hear your thoughts of, like, what do you think of the general idea of the city, of, like, the tunnels and shit, and then, as much as it's gonna fucking pain me to hear guys' criticism, I want to hear your thoughts of the original idea I have for the story. I don't like it. I'm gonna work on it later, but I still want to get like some early feedback so I can like change shit. I really like the idea of like the power goes like the meltdown idea. I think that's a cool idea, and I feel like it could be done. I practically wrote a world with this Mad Libs you have given us. Yeah, I pretty much have I literally just gave you a fucking Mad Libs and you filled in the blanks. And that's what I've done here. Fuck. That's fucking funny. Yeah, you're fucking right about that one. I still want to get your thoughts on about it though. I still want to get your thoughts. I still want to get your general thoughts though, of all the garbage I've said tonight, beyond like the idealistic stuff of like, oh, I want to make the world feel real and stuff, which besides that I haven't really said a bunch. I still want to get your thoughts on it. If you're willing to give it to me, would be greatly appreciated. I would really love that. That'd be very nice. Otherwise, I can't really ask for much. Besides that. I mean, it's a cool idea, but it has no flesh on the bones. Yeah. That's my big problem. Is that I have a crappy skeleton. Like, I have a crappy skeleton, but there's no flesh on it. Yeah, I really just need to flesh it out at this point. That's what I really need to do. Is I need to start fleshing it out. But first, I want to kind of like sure up the skeleton of where it's like, this is what the city is. This is how it works. This is the government. Like, I want to create sort of it's zero. There's like a mathematical term I'm trying to think of where it's like the base x value. I want to create like, what is its 1 equals x? What is its base value? Like, what is its state before everything goes to shit, and then like make this world, like make this big city, and then like flesh it out, make it have like all the little bumps and things and all the details, and then take the big catastrophic event and just fucking smash it, and then see how it works. Because something that my father said to me, something my dad said to me once, or as you guys lovingly refer to him as Odin, which I love, by the way. I find it really funny that we're slowly just naming, you guys coming up with names for people in my family. It's really funny. And then something my dad said to me once is that when you are painting, when you go into a painting, you have an idea of what you want. But at a certain point, it's no longer about what you want and what the painting wants. And the painting will just kind of tell you what to do. And it's the same with like any sort of creative work. This is something I've really experienced with writing. Like, let's take a certain story of mine. Let's take this story right here, Radomir. This story is at the current state 7 pages long. Wanna know how much of this I planned ahead of time? I think like I have no fucking clue. I created the skeleton. I created like the skeleton of what I wanted. And then I just started writing. I was like, and then the ideas, then the details of it, the flesh, like there was already a little flesh on the bone, but a lot of it would come during the actual process of writing. For example, in this character, I've actually talked to you about this, Toyota, where there's an actual section, there's a paragraph I sent to you, and you were like, oh, I really like this. You liked it, if I remember correctly. And it was Casimir, the main character's father, and his entire speech about like the cycle of life and death, or the cycle of nature, and how now there is a cycle of war, but unlike the cycle of nature, it produces nothing. Like there is no birth, there is no maturation, and then like there is no birth and there is no maturation. There's only death. There is only like withering, decay, anger, and remorse. That is the only thing that is produced by the cycle of war, unlike the cycle of life. And that was a whole fucking thing I wrote. Okay. Pretty much this entire section was not planned. I did not intend on making Casimir an important character in Radomir's story. I did not intend it at all. At all. But as I was writing, the idea just came in, and he was just there. It's like digging through the sand and you find like a really cool looking shell. You weren't expecting, you were looking for something, but you didn't expect to find that. Like it just fucking appeared. And it just sort of grew into this. And now there's an entire thing with Radomir and his like how he perceives his father, Casimir. But so that's an example of like just an idea coming into fruition through just actually doing stuff. Like that's part of the thing, and it's also part of like actually running D&D games is that you can't, that if you plan everything out, like every single detail out, yeah, the people who read it, or the people that play through your campaign, or like the people that look at your painting, they're going to be able to see that. It's going to feel rigid. It's not going to feel natural. Or at least, like, in my opinion, it doesn't feel natural. But and you can really, one of my literary projects, Shane Falcon, revolves around the futility of war. The whole idea is that it focuses on a Soviet fighter squadron from 1941 to 45, and have to watch helplessly as the battle devolves below. Writing a whole chapter about a dialogue that takes place during a blizzard. The men know their comrades in arms are suffering, could do nothing as the machine of war is greater than any man. That's a fucking great. That's fucking good. That's a really cool literary project. Shane, Also, that's a fucking good name. Chained Falcons. That's a fucking sick. I'm gonna be honest. That's actually really fucking cool. I would definitely read that. That'd be fucking sick. Well, although something I will say is that me and Toyo are kind of like the same. We definitely like the same shit. But to me, that's a really cool fucking idea, because I'm a complete fucking nerd when it comes to like philosophical things in literature. Like, I'm a huge fucking nerd for that. Like, I'm literally listening to an audiobook of the history of Taoism. But actually no, that's just like a historical thing. But actually no, Metro. Take Metro. Like there is a story in Metro, but there's also huge philosophical ramifications and philosophical ideas and all this other stuff. I love that sort of things, of like philosophical meanings in stories and artwork and all sorts of other stuff. I love that sort of things. And Dogfight is around when a dogfight is around a conflicting pair of dialogues, the main antagonist, a German ace, and the protagonist. Each has their own idea of what honor means. That's fucking cool. That's really sick. I love that. That's real. I'm gonna be honest. I absolutely love that idea. That's really cool. Alright, anyway. We're getting close to the end of our time here. So I actually want to get some stuff down. But because of war, they can never hear one another. Yeah. So they will forever be incomplete. Yeah, dude. I guess. I don't know how many times I can say this. That's a fucking great idea. How long have you been working on the project, guy? My dude? How long have you been working on this project? Because it definitely feels like you've been working on it for a little while. I'm gonna look like an idiot if you're just like, oh, I start. Fuck. I was gonna say, I'm gonna look like an idiot if you said like, oh, I started working on it like yesterday. 2 weeks ago. Well, actually, no. Like a lot can get done in 2 weeks. How long do you plan for it to be? That's my question. My blood is caffeine. I want to finish by autumn. Okay. Yeah, that is definitely a fault of mine. Is that I have a hard time finishing projects. I have a hard time, like, taking things to fruition. Each chapter has a few months time skip. Okay. Well, how often do you actually write it? Like, do you like work on it every day, or like every other day, or like once a week? Or you just have like big fucking just like word vomit, you work on it a bunch? Once a week. Okay, that's fucking sick. I like that. Every Saturday. Yeah, that's nice. That's really good. I'm back to the ocean and just work. That's really sick, my guy. I'm glad to hear it. When actually, something that I was funny is that during my winter break, during the second week, because the first week was like ass. Oh god, my sleep schedule was garbage the first week. I got like nothing done. Like, I think I played like a bunch of video games and worked on some shit, but I didn't really do anything I was really happy with. But the second week, I got shit in order. And I think I actually spent like every single day writing. Or like, I would sit down, I think around like, I think 12-ish, like a little bit after lunch. Like open a fucking document or something, or like actually most of the time I open like Hero Forge, and then just start fucking working. Just go, just start making shit. In the Radomir story, I actually think I spent like an entire week just writing it. Just like, it's like, okay, I wrote this much today. That's good. Okay, let's write it. And then I would like go to sleep, get up the next day, write some more. Go to sleep, get up the next day, write some more. And I think after I wrote the Casimir speech, yeah, after the Casimir speech, I think I actually, like, once I finished the section about Casimir, I was just like, fucking, like, okay, work is saved, Alt F4, and then I went on, like, a long walk with my mom. Like, I went on, like, a hike with my mother. Because we usually don't get to hang out that much together, so I was like, let's go on a hike, because it was a nice day. But, like, as soon as I finished that section, I was like, okay, this is fucking perfect, I don't need to work, I'm not gonna work anymore today. I got, like, I usually didn't write as much as I usually do, but I got, like, the actual value of what I wrote, I felt like was just so fucking good. Like, I was so happy with it, then I was just like, this is perfect. I don't want to touch it. This is good. I'm leaving on a good note. I just went, bink, Alt F4, went off and did other shit. And that's actually something I'm actually really happy about. Is usually a lot of the time I'm like, oh, I need to work on this. Like, when I'm not working on shit, I usually just like, oh, I should be working on this. Why aren't you working on this? And that's a fucking problem I have. Is my work ethic, my work ethic outpaces my ability to actually work. which can lead to me literally just overworking myself. And so I have to, like, kind of rein it in. But that being said, something that's so nice is when you're like, I'm working on something, I'm like, yeah, fucking getting work done. I get something good down, and that little part of my brain that's like, you need to keep working, and just goes, all right, you're done. Pack it up, go home, you're done. Good job, buddy. Fucking pat on the back, get out of here. You didn't need to work. You didn't need to work anymore today. And I'm just like, ah. And it's not so much like the relief of the anxiety, it's the, I got something done. Oh, it's almost like Zen. It's so nice. I like work. I like working on stuff that I actually want to work on. It's really fucking nice. Alright, now actually, I'm gonna fucking steer away from this subject because I don't want to turn this into another long-winded rant about how, like, this is what's wrong with people nowadays. Now they want to work on shit. Work that one enjoys is hardly work. Well, you know what they say, find a job you love and you'll never work a day in your life. But I feel like with that being said, I feel like there's a negative connotation around work. Work isn't a bad thing. It's that a lot of people just don't do the right work. Like, fucking everything you do. Like, if the idea of work is, I'm doing something I don't enjoy, but either I'm obliged to or I need to. Work is just doing shit, in my opinion. Doing shit, but not just like, oh, I fucking did this. All right. Work is something that has some sort of productive value. Whether it's like refining a craft or literally just like fucking doing your taxes or something. I call that work. Like anything that has some productive end. That has some sort of value. Also, I just read a bit before it. I want to write into my war drama. American bombers were stationed in Russia by 1943 to bomb Eastern Germany. It's like it's an excuse for another false line of questioning of who knows what war is. Very nice. That's also another really nice inspiration, is looking into history. That's also a really nice one. Because you can learn a lot of lessons from history. Like, especially on the larger stage of like how nations are created. And then also if you have like some weird idea about like a nation or something, where it's like, oh, what if there's a nation where like where the elite were like a minority of people who emigrated there. It's like, but how would that even be possible? Go into history. Go into oh, god damn it. What is the name of that place? Fuck. Hold on, give me a minute. Hold on, give me a minute. I'm gonna look so fucking dumb here. I'm not good at remembering names. Don't get mad at me, chat, if I don't remember this. Fuck. Okay. Okay. At one point in history, Hungary.
There's actually a point in history where, during the time when there's a lot of like Eastern Slavic people kind of just like fucking like just moving around, yet a lot of just like groups sort of raiding other groups, and like fucking like groups raiding other groups, groups defending from other groups that are raiding, and just sort of like Eastern Europe was just a fucking mess. There is a point where Hungary was ruled by a minority of people that moved there once they had been kicked out of their homeland, and they became like the top elites. My music is hella thinking moments. Inspiration for deeply unsettling. Some songs serve as inspiration for deeply unsettling war drama. Oh boy, what do you have for me here, bud? Alright, I'll listen to the... Wait, this comes out in 1973. Don't know why, but music gives hella thinking moments. Oh yeah. Music is a really good way to get inspiration for ideas. Like I listen to music. I listen to music fucking constantly. And if it's essentially the Russian Beatles, Lamau. Yeah, music is a really good way to get inspiration for shit. It's a really good way. And like there, like, there's like a bunch of, I know that during the time of the Renaissance in Western Europe, there were like a bunch of scientists that would get really inspired by like classical music, and then like come up with these crazy fucking ideas, and like some inventions kind of came to fruition by that. I can't fucking tell you which ones because I'm never very good with names, but music is a potent inspirational material. Trust me. Huge. Really big. It's 9:37. We're 7 minutes over. But I did start late. I want to get a skeleton. I want to get a skeleton rig of what I want down. And then I'm gonna dip. Actually, I don't think I'm gonna write this on stream. There's a part of me that's tempted just to keep streaming and like write stuff down, but I'm worried that's gonna be boring. But then I'm also worried, it's like, oh, well then just end stream for the night and then work on it then. So I'm worried as soon as I turn off the stream, I'm just gonna be like, oh well, my work's done for the night. I'm gonna have dinner, go to bed. Because like I actually probably shouldn't be getting off and eating soon, because I need to get up at like 8 in the morning. And where I live, when I get up in the morning, it's fucking cold. Oh god. Waking up in the cold is the fucking worst. Oh, I hate it so much. I fucking hate it. I already have a hard enough time. I disagree. There's a part of me that, yeah, actually no, yeah. Yeah. A part of me likes it, a part of me also fucking hates it. I hate okay, let me add on to my phrase. I hate the cold when I don't want to get up in the morning. I hate cold when I don't want to get up in the morning. Like when I have to get up for fucking school. Oh, I hate the cold. Because I don't want to fucking... Cause, yeah, you are a fucking... you're a fucking Cossack, dude. So the cold for you is like your natural habitat. You're a fucking born in the cold, my boy.
There is ice in your blood, my guy. Fix when I don't use heaters in winter. Oh yeah. Well, I don't really use heaters that much. Actually, no, I do. Although in my room, there is no heating in my room. That's why sometimes you'll see me with like gloves on during a stream, or like a jacket. Is because there's no heating in my room. Jacket wearing head ass. Well, the thing is, I don't want to like. The reason why is like it's actually not that cold tonight. I kind of just put this on, and I wouldn't really say I'm hot. I wouldn't really say I'm cold either. I'm kind of just neutral. There are definitely times where the cold doesn't bother me, and then there are times when it does bother me. The cold can be really nice. It can also be a pain in the ass. It kind of goes both ways. I don't like the cold in the morning. When I wake up in the morning and I sit up in bed, like the blankets are still on my chest, so my chest is warm, but my back, probably the warmest part of me, has just been fucking blasted by like cold air, and I'm just like, I fucking shrivel. like the fucking witch from Left 4 Dead 2, just fucking shrivel up. I'm just like, oh fucking god damn it. Otherwise, oh no, the cold can be fucking no pillow, no bed, no pillow is the way. Are you just fucking sleeping on the floor with a blanket on you? You fucking cockroach. I like the idea that Title Warlord is just laying on the floor. It's like a stone marble floor. There's just a fucking blanket on you. And you're just staring up at the ceiling. Just like a wake up by throwing yourself into the lake. I like to think you just fucking lay on the floor under a blanket and you're like a fucking cockroach. You're just still looking up at the ceiling, just like, this is how I live. That being said, though, what the fuck? Did you guys hear that? What the fuck was that? Anyway, that being said, though, I like the cold and I hate the cold. I love cold shit. I love just fucking blasting myself with cold water. Oh god, that feels good. Well, actually, no, it feels horrible, which I love. I love that it feels terrible. Like, after, like, a workout, like, I don't really have the money to do an ice bath. If I could, I would. If I could, I'd get big fucking bags of ice and just go and lay in it and just be like, I'm fucking dying and I love it. But I don't really have the money for that. So what I'll do is I'll get in the shower, turn it really hot, like fucking like cooking a lobster hot, just like, and I'm standing in the shower just like, oh, and I'm really relaxed. And then what I'll do is it'll be really hot and I'll just go, just fucking crank it all the way to ice cold. But the thing is, my shower, like, it won't immediately go to cold. Because I have like a bootleg shower. I have like a kind of crappy, poor person shower. And so then put it really cold. And then I'll be standing there and I'll have it on my chest. Because that's the fucking, because it's on your back, it's like, it's like, you feel a little bit weird, but on your chest, oh no, that makes, cold water on your chest makes it hard to literally fucking breathe, which is such, I don't know why, but it's a feeling where I'm just like, oh yes. But so, like, on my chest, I'm standing there, also like a little bit on my face, and then it'll slowly turn ice fucking cold. And I'm just sitting there, and I'm just going, just like losing my mind, making these noises. Like, it sounds like I'm doing like heavy fucking exercise in there. I'm just like, fuck. And I'm like, oh my god. Like, it's so cold. But then I get out of the shower, and I'm just fucking ready to go. I'm like, oh. Although it's probably not a good idea that I do that before bed. I should probably do that in the morning if I'm gonna do that at all. Ideally, though, my ideal fucking schedule: go to sleep, wake up in the morning, fucking I'm like, I'm groggy and walk around the house because I'm not really a morning person. Get in the shower, fucking make it really hot. I'm already a little tired. I'm just go and just liquefy. I turn into the fucking blob. I turn into like the liquefied thing. I turn into the thing. Just but liquids. Just fucking nothing. I'm like silly putty. But I'm just like, and then fucking crank it to really cold and just solidify. And just go and just tighten every fucking muscle on my body. Just go and then fucking turn the water off. And I'm just like, whew, okay, who's ready to go? And then fucking go outside, have some tea, have some breakfast, and then get on with my day. I don't know what it is, but there's something so just fucking, something so nice and fulfilling about getting up at 8 in the morning. If I had a better sleep schedule, I would try to get up earlier. I think one of the most fulfilled times of my life, one of the times of my life when I felt most fulfilled was when I was getting up at 8 in the morning every day. Didn't have any school. I got up at 8 in the morning because I fucking wanted to. Not because somebody told me to do it. Best time of my life. Getting up at 8 in the morning. Fucking, I'm up. The rest of my family has just fucking gotten up as well. Like, my sister's gotten out of bed, my dad's got up, my mother's up, and we're all just there, fucking existing. And it's like there's like a little collective before we all go off and just do shit. My mom goes to work, my dad, my sister go to work, and after I do some work at the house, have a fucking nice breakfast of like eggs and lots of fucking protein and sausage and shit. It's so good. And then I sit down in my chair and I get to work, and I fucking write a bunch of shit, and I have like a nice pot of tea, and then once the work is done, fucking close the document, and then spend the rest of the night with the boys. That was the best fucking time in my life, and I'm just trying to get back to that, and then like go to sleep, like fulfill, just like I did shit with my day. That's what I want. That's what I fucking want. I love just like doing fucking work. I think I told my friend once is that I like challenges, but only challenges that I want to do. Like if there's a hard task, I only want to do it if I'll only fucking do it if I want to do it. It's only fun that way. And there's something so nice about the process of problem solving. I love doing that. It's so much fun. Anyway, enough of my fucking rants. I'm going to work on this off stream. I'm probably going to work on it Wednesday when I actually have like time in school to work on it. And I'm not doing other shit because Wednesday is actually like my big weight day, which Wednesdays are always